Yeah, because Ramadan, the so-called BN strategic communications chief as a housing minister was, of course, dealing with the allegations on Guan Ying's house, and there was this exchange, and I don't know exactly what happened, but I know that he has just been thrown out, and the whole group of the DAP MPs have walked out in support. So I've been quite distracted trying to follow, although I don't know exactly the full story of the whole thing. But I think Haris has made a very important point, and I want to pay tribute to Haris. There is no greater patriot than Haris in Malaysia. He has paid his price. He has made his contribution, as we have all made our contribution. I remember in Parliament, I told the BN MPs, you have no right to regard yourself as patriots. We have gone to jail, not because we have stolen, not because we have committed any crime, but because of our love for this country, because of our standing up for the principles and the interests of the future of Malaysia. And we have gone to jail, and we are prepared to go to jail. And there's Haris as well. But we respect differences of views, whether this is a best approach, right approach, even how far you will go, you will end up in finality. And I'll be very frank, I do not know. I don't know whether we will fail. But it's better to try and to believe that this is an opportunity to try and fail and then not to be tried at all. Because the stakes are very high. We never had such an opportunity as now. For the first time, we breached this political divide. Never before. And if we don't make full use of this, I don't know when we are going to have the next opportunity. Of course, the uncertainties are great. As I said, we are going step by step. You don't know what is the full game plan. Nobody has a full game plan. I mean, Mahathir doesn't have the full game plan. But we know that something's wrong. There's a need for women of goodwill to come forward, of vision, of trust, to trust. Because whatever our differences, we believe that we have come in with this noble, patriotic objective to save this country. And we are negotiating it one step at a time. We are only committed to what is in the 37 paragraphs in the People's Declaration. Various people have said various things outside the framework of the 37 paragraphs. Do you understand? But we prefer that the things that we don't agree are not said. But we are only bound by what is in the 37 paragraphs. I'm sure what we say, not everybody will agree. But that's why we are moving one step at a time. Of course, there is a view. How can such a tenable basis be something great? I don't know. Because I think in our peculiar, unique circumstances, that's how we had to take it. Just as mentioned, the Chinese saying, the grouping with a stone to cross the river. And so long as we affirm our beliefs, we believe that what we are doing right, we are not going to be puppets of Mahathir, as I don't believe that Mahathir is going to be our puppet. But we can strike a common core agenda, something which we can agree. And we hope slowly we broaden this area of agreement. 13 paragraphs in the declaration are on MDB, specifically. Another 12 paragraphs on how the MDB has undermined body politic institutions, independence, the confidence in the people, to the extent that the 1DB has become make Malaysia infamous as one of the top corrupt nations in the world. And then the rest of the paragraphs, intro and the end, 36, 37. Yeah, we are at present agree on this one, MDB. But I think 36, 37 is important. 36, as Haris has mentioned, spelled out, the clauses. 37 talks about democratic and institutional reforms, which are even wider than what is in 36. Even wider in scope. What it is going to be, what all the signatories and all who signed this declaration can agree or not, how we expand this is a work in progress. This is a work in progress. It's not completed work. If it is completed work, we have already saved Malaysia. There's no need for this meeting. It's a work in progress, and it's a difficult work in progress. And there's no uncertainty we will succeed. But I think there is no other way. Or what's the other way? I mean, when I went around, a question was asked, is it so hard to come to some more deeper, larger, fuller agreement? I say it's very hard. Not easy. You think it's easy for Lim Kit Siang and Mahathir to sit together? Is it easy for Mahathir and Lim Kit Siang to sit together? I'm accused of all sorts of things. I said, I'm accused of being his puppet, and he's being accused of being my puppet. Is that easy? Not easy. Very, very hard. And therefore, it is not an easy work. But we venture into this with belief, with trust with each other, that slowly we can expand on this core agenda. We have different, there's no doubt, everybody knows we have different agendas. The question is whether we can expand on a common core agenda to save Malaysia. And we need your help. We need your understanding. We need your faith in the future of Malaysia. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Just an announcement, all of you have donated generously, and we have tonight 1,548 ringgit. You can still donate. If you have extra change, you can still donate. And I think we'll let the next speaker, Siti Kasim, please introduce yourself.
Okay, you have introduced me. I'm Siti. It's not a question, or I just want to share with you what I wrote on Facebook after I see many NGOs and CSOs were so against this pact. I just want to share this with you all, why I support this declaration. Much have been said by a lot of people, especially the CSOs and NGOs, about the signing of the declaration to oust Najib. Some agree and some vehemently disagree due to purportedly the person who initiated it and became the focus of the pact. I tell you why I support this declaration. I support it because I want what is best for our country. I don't care who initiated or started it. I don't care who is in charge or leader of it, as long I agree with the content of the declaration. I will tolerate, as I believe, a fair and objective attitude toward those whose opinions and practices differ from my own. I would even support if it's Hadi Awang or Harusani initiated this. People who know me will know how much I, really like them. So I would still support if they had initiated this. So I look at the cause of the movement. I read the declaration because that is what matters. The declaration for me is like a contract between parties that agree with it. Yes, some may say it's not binding, but for me, it is the honorable thing to do when you are a part of the pact and a signer to it. So I will take this gamble after weighing the pros and cons rather than let this country rot in front of my eyes. So to those, I beg to those who are against this declaration, please put aside our distrust and whatever that you have. This is about our country. It is not about our ego, about the CSO or politician. It's not about that. It's about the future of our country. I mean, I'm not reading everything because I did mention bitching and whining here. So I won't say those words here. And anyway, so finally I would say that, for heaven's sake, let's agree on something and put our differences, dislike and distrust aside. We have a bigger picture here. At least I can say I have tried. Okay, that's it.
Yes, please just come to the mic so that after that...
I'm Ronnie. I just got back from Shanghai for a week. This is I have a lot of friends in Shanghai who are Malaysians. They're telling me they are now usually do not tell the Chinese or the foreigners in China that they come from Malaysia because they are so ashamed of being Malaysian because of Najib. Okay, I want to say this. There is a Chinese concept called Jiang Gong Su Zui. Jiang Gong Su Zui, if I try to translate, it is more or less like you redeem yourself. If you have done a lot of wrongs in the past, but we give you a chance to redeem yourself by doing good works and contributions. That's the concept. For those who don't like Mahathir like me, good friend, Mahathir's good friend is Khairudin here. I want you to tell Dr. Mahathir, there are a lot of people in Malaysia, they still not very keen or still very skeptical about the citizens' declarations because of Mahathir. This is a fact, but I do not want to blame him because that is historical. But the speakers, the honorable panelists here today have made it very clear. I don't need to explain on their behalf that we have a real crisis here. For one MDB, we all know that do you know that their total debt is more than 42B? Plus interest and all that, could be already 45B. But do you know that if you sell all the assets in one MDB, you can't even get 20B? And do you know that Mahathir has ruled Malaysia for about 22 years, and then after that, Abdullah. These two prime ministers, they've borrowed a lot of money on our behalf. Guess how much? About 250B. Do you know how much Najib alone, how much loan he has taken for a short 4 or 5 years? Now our national debt is close to 700B. You know, you have this kind of prime minister. 1 year ago, if you asked me to say, bring down Najib, I would say no. You know why? Because I would like to, I prefer to keep Najib there, to destroy the country more, so that the opposition can have a chance in a PR-14 to take the government. Yes or not? But after one MDB, after 2.6B, after Apandi become the AG, after the possibility of the fellow who's the director of Tabung Haji and one MDB advisor may be appointed as the governor of this Bank Negara, I begin to feel that I think the number one task is to bring down Najib. Thank you for all your efforts. Please join all the Malaysians. And before that, I hope people like Tun Mustahidam, Tengku Razali, Hanif Omar, and all that, whoever you can imagine, you can remember, all those so-called very important people in the past, they all should join us to sign for the declaration like us. That's what I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ronnie. The gentleman in purple, and after that the gentleman in green, and then only yourself, sir.
Good evening. Yeah, I understand.
Sorry, can we have your name?
Maitri. I understand there's a need to use a thorn to remove another thorn from the flesh. But then you must also be mindful that you have to throw away both of those two thorns, you know. So in concerning this, you know, as Dr. Ambika says, we have to take the bull by the horns. But then you have to also consider whether you can overcome the bull or the bull will butt you. So if we come across a wall and you find it difficult to cross over the wall, sometimes you may also think of strategize, why not go around the wall? So the point I'm going to make is, from the very beginning, there should be a prime minister cannot sit on two chairs. He cannot sit on the prime minister chair and the finance minister chair. And we have allowed Mahathir to do it. We have allowed Najib to do it. And probably if the next prime minister, Anwar, he may be also allowed to do it. So my suggestion is, why don't you just remove Najib from the post of prime minister, from the post of finance minister, rather than from the post of prime minister. Okay, the second point I make is that you want quick solutions, but I see the dilemma of the country is as old as Adam and Eve. Now, if this almond tree, you just want to chop off a branch that is overbearing, you want to chop off the Najib branch. Don't you think they are just pruning the tree? Because you need to aim at the root of the tree, with the almond tree, and before you can bring the tree can be fall down, or it will fall down by its own weight. So the root of it is in the policies. Now, I have not seen that the opposition have really openly worked on the real issues that affect the people. I mean, in all the fields, racial, religion, and economic and all that. So I feel NGOs must do a rethinking before they launch out. Thank you.
The gentleman, no, just the one in green, the gentleman in green.
Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. My name is Adam Ibrahim. I don't represent any organization. I'm here on my own. I heard just now the reservations expressed by Haris about Mahathir being the architect of this declaration. I've also heard the explanations by some of the panel members, including Dr. Ambiga, who said, no, we are all equal. I think Saudara Kitiang will agree with me that in politics, perception is very, very important. And having heard the explanations, as an ordinary person, let me say, I'm not convinced by the explanations that Mahathir is not playing a primary role in this matter. The deed has been done. The declaration has been signed. Let it be. But it now has to evolve and metamorphosize into a movement. It needn't be headed by Mahathir. Let it be that Dr. Mahathir not be the spokesperson for such a movement. I think the public perception of this movement will be more receptive. Sure, Mahathir can play his role. He can reach out to the UMNO rank and file. But he needn't be the spokesperson. Ideally, it should be a non-politician. To my mind, if he had not joined DAP, Abdul Samad Said would have been the perfect person to head this movement. But since he's become a DAP member, that may disqualify him. And I think the movement should look for someone who has standing in society, who is a non-politician, to head this movement and to be the spokesperson. And if there is no one available or no one willing, and if it has to be a politician, let me say that Dr. Mahathir does not represent our future. We need to find somebody then, a symbol, someone who can represent our future. And if it has to be a politician, my own view is that there's no better person than Nurul Izzah. She is, after all, the daughter of one of the persons who has suffered the most hideous injustices in this country. Thank you.
The gentleman in grey, last for this round.
Okay, thank you for offering me giving a speech. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here.
Sorry, can I have your name? Can we have your name?
My name is Raghunathan, and I'm a retired ex-serviceman, Air Force, and I'm also a qualified lawyer. I would like to say that a few things, whatever anybody said, Machroni said, and justify the means. That's what I believe in. Whoever comes in, whoever comes in, or whatever the force ends, what is the result? The final result is the most important thing in life. irrespective, he said Mahathir, Dr. Lim Kerchang, Dr. Ambika, whoever influenced it, irrespective. But one concern, we have to justify what is justice. That's what we are going for, the declaration. Of course, the declaration has got right all the things. It's not a simple thing. You go back to history, American War of Independence, Boston Tea Party. They said, no representation, no taxes without representation. That's what they said. Something like that. It comes out simple as a speck. Why is this a concern? Whether it is Mahathir, Datombiga, or it could be anybody who will come forward and you can say that is justice for the whole nation, for the future of the country. Anybody can come forward, not necessarily would you say that Mahathir cannot be represented, or anybody can. No, anybody can represent, because it is the development of the country. They are the citizens of the country. So they have the rights to voice opinion. If things do go bad, why are we in this shit? They ask themselves, why in this shit? What happened to Malaysia? Whatever country we are, we're supposed to be the #1 Asia, better than Singapore in commercial wise and anything. Why? Because the political system. What do you think if at all a PKR or the opposition comes in, do you think it's the same thing? I wouldn't know. That's what the Tamil they say in proverb. Ravanan Andal in Sandi, Raman Andal. That means Raman is supposed to be a great lord. Ravan is supposed to be a crook. Whoever the crook or the hero run the show is still the same. Why? The system is still there. Nobody has done. If you go down here, even now, you go down to Selangor Corporation. Now Selangor is under opposition. You look in the land office, it's still the same. The same system, they're running it. What difference does it make? Do you think they're going to change the system? No. The takeover system is still run over the system. There's no improvement at all. So what we want here, this declaration, whoever makes it, we will support it, and we want to see the result. The end justify the means. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Maybe responses from the panelists to what have been said.
Sebenarnya saya kurang setuju dengan pendapat salah seorang daripada member of the floor tadi yang mengatakan, mengapa tidak kita lucutkan, buang Najib daripada jawatan Menteri Kewangan dan seolah-olah kekalkan dia sebagai Perdana Menteri. Sebenarnya tuan-tuan, Najib ini tak boleh dikekalkan dalam apa jua jawatan. Dia terlalu korup. Kita kena buang dia secara total, Najib ni. Kerana dia salah guna kuasa, dia terlalu korup pada hari ini. Negara kita menjadi mudarat seperti mana hari ini adalah disebabkan oleh Najib Tun Razak. Kita kena ingat tu. Dan salah guna kuasa pada hari ini bukan dilakukan oleh Menteri Keuangan. Pada hakikatnya salah guna kuasa pada hari ini dilakukan oleh Perdana Menteri. Kerana jawatan Perdana Menteri itu sendiri mempunyai 1001 kuasa. Kita tengok dalam kes 1MDB. Siapa saja yang bercakap mengkritik tentang kes 1MDB terus dibuang. Tan Sri Mahyudin dibuang sebagai Timbalan Perdana Menteri, Syafi'i Abdal dibuang sebagai Menteri Kabinet, Bukris dibuang sebagai Menteri Besar. Pihak SPRM, pegawai SPRM siasat. Akhirnya orang yang siasat itu ditangkap, disoal siasat. Polis yang terlibat dalam siasatan, yang tidak setuju dengan pendapat mereka dipanggil, diubah jabatan dan sebagainya. Ini adalah gerak kerja daripada Perdana Menteri. Dan saya sendiri pun ditangkap membuat laporan polis untuk nak selamatkan wang kerajaan dan wang rakyat daripada diselewengkan. Akhirnya ditangkap, ditahan di bawah SOSMA. Segala-galanya sebenarnya distrukturkan oleh jawatan Perdana Menteri itu yang mempunyai 1001 kuasa. Sebab itulah, kalau kita nak negara kita selamat, jalan yang terbaik kita kena buang Najib secara total. Kita tak boleh bagi dia jadi Perdana Menteri ataupun jawatan-jawatan lain, kita tak boleh kekalkan dia. Dan untuk member of the floor yang seorang lagi tu, saya ingin terangkan mengenai persepsi terhadap Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. Seperti mana yang diperkatakan oleh ahli panel tadi, yang pentingnya kita tidak boleh toleh ke belakang sekiranya kita nak deklarasi rakyat ini berjaya. Dan dalam apa jua keadaan sekalipun, saya ni bukanlah errand boy Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, saya bukanlah budak suruhan Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, tetapi hakikatnya pengaruh Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad masih lagi kuat dan agak besar. Sebab itulah kita berkolaborasi dengan Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad untuk nak menjayakan deklarasi rakyat ini. Deklarasi rakyat ini sebenarnya it is owned by the public. It is not owned by any individual. And the emblem of that, to prove that, we are inviting 1,500 leaders nationwide to come for a symposium rakyat on the 27th, which going to be held at Shah Alam Convention Center. Ini membuktikan kita panggil semua pemimpin-pemimpin dari seluruh negara, 1,500 orang, untuk duduk memberi pendapat, bertukar-tukar pendapat dan sebagainya, untuk nak menentukan hala tuju deklarasi rakyat. Ini bukan hak Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad bukan tuan punya deklarasi rakyat. Saya rasa persepsi ini harus kita buang, kerana deklarasi rakyat ini pada hakikatnya adalah dari rakyat untuk rakyat. Ini hakikatnya. Sebab itulah pada 27 ini kita panggil simposium rakyat, untuk jemput semua orang untuk memberi pendapat. Dan saya juga nak jemput semua yang ada di Dewan ini untuk menghadiri simposium rakyat pada 27 hari bulan Mac ini di Shah Alam Convention Center. Dan perkara yang ketiga, yang terakhir, saya agak setuju dengan pendapat saudara kita tadi. Yang pentingnya ialah matlamat kita tercapai. Siapa yang nak take the lead dan sebagainya, itu kurang penting. Asalkan dia tidak salah guna kuasa, asalkan orang yang take the lead tu dia yakin, dia percaya kepada konsensus, kepada concerted effort dan sebagainya, kalau itu ada pada diri dia, saya rasa siapa saja boleh take the lead. Kerana untuk nak bagi benda ni berjaya, salah seorang daripada kita secara realitinya, mau ke tak mau ke, suka ataupun kita tidak suka, salah seorang daripada kita harus take the lead. Tetapi kalau dia take the lead tanpa dia salah guna kuasa, saya rasa itu tidak salah. Kerana matlamat kita akhirnya kita nak berjaya, kita nak selamatkan tanah air kita. Itu saja. Terima kasih.
I just wanted to add on the issue of perception. I think I'm hearing some very resounding calls from the people in this room and friends in this room that we either don't want Dr. Mahathir to completely run away with this, and the only way he cannot run away with this and that he cannot be the sole architect of this is that we all come on board. So when Dr. Mahathir called for a discussion on how to move forward after the first batch of signatories put their names on the document, this was something that I raised directly to him in front of all the people that were present, that this whole movement, this citizens movement, cannot just be seen to be led by him, because perception in the days leading up to the signing did not sound very constructive or positive, and there were a lot of criticisms from civil society and so on. So there was a proposal that was mooted to him and to everyone in the room that a civil society leader co-leads this with him, that we take charge, that we know what Maria said just now, that we are able to be in control, that we know where we want to go. We also know that the first challenge is to remove Najib what comes after is where the real challenge really is. And so it must be, and I agree with Saudara Khairuddin also, that it must be that while we maintain the creative alliance with Mahathir and people in UMNO so that we can also engage with the grassroots of UMNO, we have to find among ourselves. And there are some very obvious choices in the people on this panel and in this room who could actually take the lead. But the call must also come from the public that we are ready, we want the declaration to be signed, we are ready to take it on, but we also want to have a leader among ourselves to take charge and to move it together so that it doesn't run away as a Dr. Mahathir thing. Actually, Hishamuddin is right. It's in our hands. Because if we don't do anything and we continue to criticize and rant on Facebook and Twitter, it is going to be his declaration or something that we all think is going to be his. So the whole concept is that we should own it. We should take ownership. We name a leader. We have trust in some very high-profile personalities, civil society leaders here. We name them, and we take charge, and we move forward. And I think the question on the foreign minister and prime minister was well answered by Khairuddin. Only thing I want to add is that we must never lose focus of what Najib has done. This is not personal about Najib, but this is how he has abused his power as prime minister in office and as finance minister. And we know from this moment on, we can never ever allow in the future, in our democracy, when we get a chance to repair it, that the finance minister and the prime minister can never be held by one person. This is a clear vehicle that allows them to abuse their powers. So the question is accountability, and Khairuddin is absolutely right. Najib has abused both positions, so he absolutely has no legitimacy to sit in either one portfolio today. Thank you.
I just want to answer in terms of, I think that the Mahathir factor is bothering people, that I recognize. But I don't think that, I would actually suggest anything else. Simply because the purpose of him being there, he served a purpose. For me, he served a purpose in the sense that he reached out to the grassroots that we would not be able to reach out to. If we had been able to reach out to those grassroots, GE13 would have been different. And for that reason, I feel it is strategic for him to be there to talk to the people that we can't reach out to. For me, that is the reason why he's there. But as I've said, we are not going to keep quiet and allow him to take over the whole agenda. We cannot stop him from speaking also, because we are talking about freedom of expression. And within any coalition, there can be differences of opinion, and that is what democracy is all about. But what we can do as citizens, that's where we have to take charge too. If everyone is still at the level of lamenting about the problem in our country, we will continue to lament about the problem in our country for 50 more years. So this is the moment. This is the moment where we have to take charge and say that, come rain or shine, whether we get arrested or not, we are going to sign and we are going to dictate what is going to be the way forward in the Citizens' Declaration. And in Sabah, and actually I told them together with Hisham, if they're not happy with the declaration, they can actually have their own discussion. And when the people from the Citizens' Declaration goes to Sabah, which is going to happen in May, present it to them that the declaration has not included the demands of the Sabahans. And make it more dynamic, make it yours, make it you can actually own that declaration. It is not like, something that, we have to follow right through. No, I think that, but to say that we want to change now, not really, because a lot of people have signed. But to actually, like what Tee Siang say, work in progress, we can add on, it is possible. So let us not get so bogged down in terms of the document itself. Let us just get the action going, because just look at us here, 200 of us. 200 of us, if each of us gets another 200 people to sign, it's already 40,000. And if each and every 40,000 sign, we get 8 million. And that is the power of the people.
Hello. I just want to respond to Adam on that question of spokesperson. Honestly, and I'm not just saying this to satisfy you or to try and deflect, we are all spokespersons. There isn't one spokesperson. And if you look at what's been happening since the signing of the declaration, you will see that Maria and I have probably been talking about the declaration far more than Tun Mahathir has, Maybe initially, yes. But that's how it is. And I think what I would like to see, for me, there is a question of trying to get as many signatures as we can before Ramadan. And I would like this to take off quickly. I would rather not be bogged down in some things that maybe, that we can try and fix amongst ourselves. The question, that's why I say I am not in favor of the issue of leadership of this movement. We are all leaders. I don't want to give in to the point that some one person or two persons have to lead. I don't accept that as a premise, simply because I think we're all leading. So I would like to see how that turns out, Adam. I'm suggesting that we hold for a while on your suggestion. Let's see if this evolves, and let's see if everyone is comfortable with it. Because I know we are working hard. We are all individually doing our own talking, and Kit Siang has been, and so on. So let it just develop that way organically. That's my suggestion. I mean, I want to try and satisfy. Haris is still frowning, and that's really bothering me. But I understand it. At the end of the day, no one's going to force you to sign. Okay? If you really feel you can't, I will understand. But if you really can find it in yourself to come on board with us, this is the wave that we need. I would be so happy. And I think what Maria says is very good. Practically speaking, many of you can actually download the declaration and photocopy it or whatever, and get your friends to sign as well. And send it to where?
There's a volunteer desk outside. There is a volunteer desk out. There's Sue Chong outside who will take your name and your phone number and will send you details as to where to send it. So those who can actually democratize this declaration, go out there and get 1,000 signatures, please go out and look for Sue Chong. He's there with a list, and he'll take your name, email address, and telephone number. Thank you.
So I don't know whether I have answered your questions enough. Adam and Haris, I know you still have an issue, but you want to speak? Yeah.
Hi, my name is Colin Yeo. I'm nobody special. Originally, I had one question, but after hearing Saudara Maria's answer earlier, I now have two questions. I'll ask my first question first, which is very simple. What happens after Najib steps down? I know that, like Saudara YB Lim already said, that this is a work in progress. I know that you guys saying that this is uncharted waters, this is unprecedented times, and I understand that you guys don't really have a plan of what's going to happen next. But I would just like some reassurance that you guys have also considered the possible outcomes, that you guys are aware of everything that could happen after Najib steps down. And I think the thing that we are most afraid of is that even if Najib steps down, does this help UMNO in any way? Would this somehow turn to UMNO's advantage, which I cannot speak for everyone in this room, but that is something that I do not want. So again, the question is very simple. What happens after Najib steps down? The second question that I had after, again, hearing Saudara Maria's answer earlier is that you said that what Mahathir brings to the table is his ability to speak to the grassroots, which is something that you guys can't do. My question is why? Why can't you reach the grassroots? Because that is also something that I'm not very convinced about. What exactly does Mahathir bring to the table? How exactly is he an asset to any kind of civil movement? Because if I were to be truly convinced to sign this declaration, it would be if you guys convince me that Mahathir started this, but you guys are going to take it away from him. If you can do that, if you can convince me of that, then I'll sign. Thank you.
I think we'll just take 2 more and then that's it.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, Haris, I'm sorry, we have to let other people. Mr. Sarajun, can you just just 4 of you and that's all. Thank you. The gentleman in yellow first.
My name is Jimmy Teo. I'm very excited after hearing all this. And I would like to share whether what I receive is right or wrong. Okay, I think the main message is here that you want all of us to inspire many others. You know, if you can inspire your friends, you know, and I have done this, and I commit today, I will inspire at least 50 of my friends to sign. And I would like to challenge all of you, because it is us that can make the change. It is us. Every day, actually every day, I make a point to speak to someone about Malaysia. And I always use this quote. I say, we need to thank Najib. He has created such a beautiful opportunity for us to change Malaysia. But we have to work very hard every day. We have to work very hard so that we really can thank him. If not, you are cursing him now. We must be able to thank him, but we must work very, very hard. And I'm doing it. I've done it for the last 1 year. I've spoken to more than 1,000 people. I would like to share with you, out of these 1,000 people, 5 people say, you should be the Prime Minister. I get very shocked. There are people say, the way you say, you will go into the jail. But I say, if I go into the jail, all of you must celebrate for me because I have succeeded. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Jaya. I have just 3 points to make. The first is, at least people from my generation will know that this one man has dominated our life, and till today he's still in this room and we're still talking about him. And that's the perception we are dealing with, the root. If you look from 4th March onwards, no way anywhere he has given an interview or said anything where he has talked about institutional reforms. Okay? I know you all are carrying it all the time, but he has not. And in fact, I think questions put to him point blank, he has, in his classical Machiavellian way, escaped it. So we all have to be cognizant of this. So if you want us to be convinced to sign this declaration and say, save this, and I'm not targeting this to the politicians on the battle, because politicians will change with the tide. I'm targeting this to Ambiga and Gang. Is there a point comes when you are in this committee discussing where you know the agenda is going to be hijacked, will you publicly now declare that you will get out of this? We need that public declaration for us to go and push for people to sign. One. Second, Hisham, since you brought out history and the theory of the United Front, are you aware of a Loitek in the midst? And if there is one, will you be able to monitor that person? Thank you.
Two more. There's two more. The gentleman over there and Mr. Sarajun. And that's it.
Good evening, gentlemen. My name is Ganapati. I'm from NGO. Just want to clarify certain things to get some justice in this hall today. We all know who is Mahathir. For 22 years, he have done so many things to us. It will take another 10 years for us to see what he have done to the society. I'm not going to elaborate much on this Mahathir. Very simple thing. Among our people in this room, we are going to be in this world for another 30, 40 years. After that, the new generation is going to come and take over. Hope we do something for the new generation. Our generation is almost finished, but we at the right crossroad junction now. We have all the great things to do. All the cause that panels are doing is very great job. Only one request I'm asking here with all the great learner panels is that just ask Mahathir to be apologetic for raping this country for 22 years. We don't forget that. Let him be a gentleman, honest, apologize to the nation openly. Come back here. Everybody will support and forgive him. But the apologetic must come. We don't want to tell what he have done, what is for apologetic things. Let him know what he have done for the 22 years. Education, new generation, people have migrated to Australia with all the frustration. People from general manager from the bank, because of his policy, just resigned 24 hours. School teachers have migrated and gone all over, distorted the whole society for the past 22 years. All we want asking is just apologetic for open here. This is our sacrifice to sign. Yes, we sign. His sacrifice is one small word. That's all. Thank you, panels.
Hello, my name is Sarajun Hoda. My question is actually directed to Dato' Khairuddin. Let's be frank about it. Do you think Najib is the only person corrupted in the government? Well, the whole UMNO is corrupted. And lots of people join UMNO not for politics, but for money. That's why it comes to this point where Najib has to get a lots of money to survive in politics. So, if you just remove Najib without institutional reforms, you are back to square one. The Deklarasi Rakyat is not going to be successful. That's why it's very important that these two must go together. Najib goes and now, why do I refer this to Dato' Khairuddin is that, how serious are you, UMNO and ex-UMNO people, for this Deklarasi Rakyat? If it comes to a situation where in order for the Deklarasi to be successful, you have to forgo UMNO, you have to dissolve UMNO, kick them out, which side would you be? Thank you.
Thank you. What we're going to do is just the last remarks from all the panelists. So we start with YB Lim.
Yeah. Thank you. I'll just make one comment on an earlier remark about the importance of perception. That is true.